It's David from Site3D here, and I'm going to show you how to input a swale into Site3D. So we have our road that we want to drain onto a channel along the side here so that we can infiltrate that water into the surrounding area. To do this, we're going to put in a pipe, which we've already done, and then we're going to convert it into a swale, so an open channel. To do this, we go to the Drainage Tools, Conduit Properties, and select one of the pipes that we want to change. In here we can see we have the cross-sectional shape. Let's change that to a swale. This gives us a few more options. So in here we can then change the base width, which is the width along the bottom of the channel. We have the height, which is from that bottom of the channel to the top of the channel. We have the side slope, which is the gradient of the slope along here. We have the Manning's end, which is the roughness of the swale, which in this case is going to be a sort of grassy area. And we have an overflow height. This allows us to cap the downstream end to, if you set it to the same height as the actual height, it'll be at the main top here, and so any water that will be put into it will either infiltrate down or will store in it until it gets to that height and then tops over and floods. Or you can have that height slightly lower, where it would then come across and act as an overflow drain and then drain into the manhole afterwards. If you have it at 0, it'll allow you to flow this open channel into the next item unhindered. We then also have the soil thickness. This is the thickness of the soil between the open channel and the storage medium below, the trench below. We then have the storage thickness. This is the thickness of the actual storage underneath, and the void ratio and optional underdrain, which allows you to choose a pipe, a slotted pipe underneath. If we want to infiltrate into the storage, we want to have a infiltration into trench. This is the rate at which water will go from the above ground open conduit into the storage medium. We then have trench infiltration, which is the infiltration rate from the storage medium into the surrounding ground. So in here I have all my properties. I'm going to say OK, and I have a swale put on, and you can see it on the drawing here. Now it might be that we want to change the colour, so we can go back into the properties and you can then manually override the colour from blue to something like green. Hit OK, and you can then see that swale nice and clearly on your drawing as you need it. And if you want to, in this case I want to have multiple swales, because I actually want a single swale that goes all the way along with multiple sort of side branches that will come in and drain water in all the way along. So I'm going to choose the next section, and then I'm going to change this from a closed circular to a swale. I'm going to set the overflow height to the same height as this, so half a meter. And I got the same storage thickness, and I want infiltration rate, so I'm going to choose something like 5 meters an hour, so 5,000 millimeters an hour, and the actual infiltration into the ground is going to be much slower at about 1 meter an hour, so 1,000 millimeters an hour. Click OK, and we have that in, and I forgot I want to change the color as well. I'm going to change that also to green, so it's nice and clear on our drawings and on our 3D views. All we have to do now is run the simulation, and we can then see the information. So go to our drainage analysis, run the simulation, and here's our results. So in our manhole schedules and pipe schedules, you can see at the top here, we can then go down and see, in the pipe schedules, we can see the swales actually on as well. So we can see the pipe 1003 is a swale, the pipe 1002 is a swale. That's in the shape column. But then you can go through and see all the information. So you've got your flow continuities for your rainfall events, you've got your return periods and durations, and your results. So you can see all the information coming through. So we've got a bit of flooding in the 100 year plus 45%, but not actually in our swales. Thanks for watching.